Did you enjoy going to school?
Oh, I
Did you have
loved it.
some favorite subjects in school?
I loved it, and I was a pretty good little student.
Mm-hmm.
My aunt, being having the aptitude that she had, was very encouraging to me
Mm-hmm.
always, and helped me so much
Mm-hmm.
get started that I had an impetus to
Mm-hmm.
do the right thing, and
Mm-hmm.
and I was a pretty good student.
Mm-hmm.
I started school when I was 5. My birthday is October 3rd, and school, of course, starts in but I would be 6 October 3rd,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and
Mm-hmm.
so I started school at 5, and that's pretty young.
Yeah.
But I remember that I remember it and did okay.
Did you ever have her as a teacher?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. In high school, she was my English teacher.
How did that work?
Oh, she was a wonderful teacher.
Did she expect more of you than the
Oh,
other
yes.
students?
In fact,
Okay.
one time, I have to tell this story. She gave us a little quiz of some kind, and a little classroom quiz in the English section. And when I got my paper back, I had a 99.
Ooh.
But I had something right that was crossed out, and I said, "Nanny, this was right."
Mm-hmm.
She said, "I know." She said, "You had the only paper." She said, "I couldn't give you that grade." She said, people would think, "That's a funny little old thing." But I said, "Well, Nanny, that's not fair. I never did think that was fair." Even after she told me the reason. Oh.
Did you play sports when you were in school?
Loved it when I was about junior high, maybe even upper elementary. We went over to Abilene and saw Amarillo. Amarillo had the best team in the state and won the state. And we went over to watch Amarillo play Abilene,
Mm-hmm.
and I never had seen such a fine football team as that.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, boy, if I ever get big enough or old enough, that's what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just an amazing thing for me to watch them play.
Mm-hmm.
And they did go on and win the state. Amarillo did and won it 3 years in a row.
Oh my.
At Amarillo Sandys, and they were the best they were the highest classification in enrollment in the state. And so 34, 5, and 6, they won the state three years in a row. But anyway, that was something I remember vividly.
And then while you were at Georgetown, I understand you were playing football,
Yes.
going to classes, and I hear that you played against UT about that time.
We played against UT.
And did you win?
No.
Oh, shoot.
But you know
Okay.
what? Now this is true. We outplayed them.
Oh.
We outplayed them in statistically and every other way,
Oh.
but we had some kind of bad breaks in that ball game.
Okay.
Well, we had some kids. See, we had some kids that had already played major college football, and they were in our V12 program, and we had a lot of real good athletes.
Uh-huh.
So it wasn't just they were playing. We had a real good
You had an
football
almost
team.
pro team.
Yeah, we had a real good team.
And were you quarterbacking then too?
I wasn't. I was playing tailback. We had a single wing ball club then, rather than a T formation, and
Okay.
and I played tailback in single wing attack.
So God wanted you to come back and coach football.
I guess so.
Okay.
And I had such close relationship with with the boys. I really loved the kids that I coached. There's a bond that grows up between them, or did then. It may be a little different now, but we knew the families real well, and the boys were sort of like your own. They were just, and boys that I coached, I remember them just as well as I can tell you. And I still have some directors from our school, some annuals that.
Two of your football players came to see you?
I've had, that's the darndest thing.
Huh.
I've had, let's see, I've had at least a half a dozen, two at a time usually. They'd find out where I was, and they'd come to see me, and you wonder, you must build a relationship that just doesn't disappear. You know, there's a kinship there because there's a closeness in a coach and his boys, or was then. It's not quite as, maybe not quite as close now in most places, but was then. And I knew, not only I knew all the boys real well, I knew their families and everything. And I coached a team in Dublin that was a 6th ranked team in Texas in our class, and we were undefeated, and it was one of the finest group of boys that I've ever had been around in my life.
So they were champions in their class, and
yes,
took very good, very good.
I've known Keith Miller back when I lived in Tyler, Texas. Keith Miller was a geologist with Shell, and we met in Tyler, and that's been a long time ago. I mean, a long time ago. And I kept running. I'd run into Keith a lot of times wherever I'd go. Maybe you've never heard the name Rooster Andrews, but do you? Rooster was a very close friend of mine, and he was an Episcopalian too, and Rooster and I. When he had come, he was so interesting. You know, we not only were in the same church and everything, but we just loved each other, kind of. And I still see his wife. He's phenomenal.
He would know his catalog, or he would know.
He had the darndest memory of, you know, of nearly anybody that I've ever seen. And his roommate was Bobby Lane, who was one of the greatest players that ever played at UT. He'd say, "Hey, Carol," you know, call out the names, and he wouldn't have. It wouldn't be from a piece of paper.
Right. That's the secret of a good salesperson.
I know it.
They have all
he was
that
the
data.
best. He was one of the best that I've ever seen.
Yeah.